How's it going, guys and gals? Welcome to another entry in my journal. I want to talk about violence, video games, and mass shootings. A lovely topic, I know. The government, once again, is blaming video games for violence, and specifically the mass shootings that we see here in the United States. And I actually do take that to heart. Like, I am a gamer. Like right now, I am playing with a mouse. I'm playing. I'm playing Watch Dogs 2. I'm playing it through for this to be my third playthrough of the game. I've played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas through I don't know how many times. I've played GTA 5 through I don't know how many times. I've played Doom. I've played Assassin's Creed. I've played Warzone. I've played God of War, Call of Duty, Bloodborne. I played tons and tons of violent video games growing up. And I do know that video games don't cause violence in people. If it did, countries like Japan and South Korea, who are the number one and two consumers of video games, would be a lot more violent. And in fact, the United States is only third when it comes to consuming video games. But yet, between these three, the United States has the higher homicide rate of the three. So obviously, games are not the issue. And I personally believe, someone who's also really into politics, that they're that it's that they're trying to move the talking point away from what the actual issue is. And they dance around one of them. But the biggest issue is between the three countries that I mentioned, United States, Japan, and South Korea, one of them has the loosest regulation on firearms. Now, Japan did have a crime with their weapon not too long ago, and a very particular political party in the United States, fuck it, Republicans, cry out, well, Japan has some of the toughest gun laws in the world. How did they? They just had shooting. Oslo is in Norway. Norway has one of the strongest gun laws in the world. They had a mass shooting. But yet, they're saying so guns aren't the issue. But yet, if you roll it back to the United States, we're almost at 400 mass shootings. And there's not even 400 days in a year. We're not even we're not even to day 300 yet. That's an issue. But they dance around, but the Republicans dance around mental health. And mental health really is an issue in this country. And tackling mental health will rein mass shootings. It won't do them outright because how many guns we have, but it will rein it in. Now, mental health, guns, and video games actually is kind of a tricky situation. Take video games out of that because I personally believe that's not really an issue. Mental health and guns. Okay, something we can really deal with. Let's take out guns out of the issue. Mental health mental health sometimes has some issues. I have mental health issues myself. I'm diagnosed with ADHD and Asperger's. I also have depression. Undiagnosed depression, but I do have depression. Now, will I, with me knowing I have depression, willingly buy a gun? No. And I actually do believe those with depression shouldn't be allowed to own weapons. The biggest weapon I own is this is the only weapon I own. It is a garden variety truck stop pocket knife. Most likely made in Japan. Or China. Doesn't say. This is the only weapon I own. It's the only weapon I trust myself to own. That was not the effect I was hoping for. Yeah, it's not going to stick up. Now let's talk about mental health in video games and mass shootings. Let's actually bring them on to one thought process here. I do believe if one does have mental health issues and that could lead to violence, video games could be the trigger to spur... What's the word I'm looking for? To spur great tragedy. But that could be of any medium. That could be movies, television shows, video games, music, books. Any of them could be the trigger point in someone who is undiagnosed or even diagnosed mental issues that could lead to great tragedies. It's not just video games, but the thing is with the video games is the means of method. Because unlike other forms of media, the difference being is because the difference is right here I'm actually fully interacting with said medium. It's actually one of the things I really do love about video games. It's that my input actually changes the story or continues the story. It's not like I fucking hate this. I fucking hate my OBS app at the moment. Me interacting. It's that I'm interacting with the story being told. I personally push the story forward, other than just hitting the pause and play button. My hotel room has cable, so but it's not the video game that causes the violence. It is tied with the violence that we see in the United States is tied with mental illness issues and guns, and both of them is something Republicans refuse to do anything about. And they will outright say that they won't do anything about guns, that they swear up and down that guns are not the issue, that they're a God-given right, and they're tied in with the Constitution, which they are. The Second Amendment does give the right to a well-related militia and the right to bear arms. So they say we need to deal with mental health issues. The thing is, Republican-led states have some of the worst mental health institutions. they're constantly underfunded and constantly getting the funding cut. So if the Republicans really do believe that mental health is the cause of this unprecedented tragedy that happens every day in this country, then they should be at the forefront when it comes to health bills. It should not have been Barack Obama or Bill Clinton or Joe Biden that's saying we need to invest into mental health, into health, and try to push bills through. It shouldn't just be them. It should have been W. It should have been Trump, and it should be the current leaders of the GOP right now saying, let's invest in mental health instead of saying, where are we going to find the money to invest in mental health when we can again and again and again and again and again raise the budget for the military? We have one of the well-funded militaries in the world. And we're constantly increasing its budget. But yet, we can't find the money to invest in mental health. We can't find the money to invest in infrastructure. We can't find the money to pass something as simple as universal health care. Because all they scream is, where are you going to find the money? Where are you going to find? Take the money from the military. I support our troops, and I firmly believe that we support anyone who's got the cojones big enough to take a bullet for something they believe in and fight in the military. I got nothing but mad respect for our service members, which is something that even the Republicans don't even have. But yet, we don't need a military budget that engulfs the next 10 militaries combined. So let's take the money from that instead of investing more money into them. Take the money that we would invest and invest it in healthcare. Because when you invest in healthcare, you're also investing in mental health, which is something that Republicans are saying they can't find the money for. But yet, again and again, they find money to put into the military. Healthcare is what we need. Common sense gun laws is what we need. That's the issue. It is one party who's trying their best in a tragedy of 400 mass shootings this year alone in the United States alone. When there's not even 400 days in a year. And we're not even to the 300th day yet. That's the issue. And when we finally realize that there is one party trying their best to end the mass slaughter of their citizens, being blocked by a party that just doesn't care. No, the Democrats are not the most perfect party in the United States. I myself, not a Democrat. I back the Democrats because they're the closest party to my morality, to what my vision of a government should be. I'm a registered independent, and I agree greatly with the Green Party because I'm a socialist. But yet, it's only the Democrats willing to do something. Oh, that's it for my ramble over the day. I'll catch you guys next time. I got a pizza to finish. And a game to play.